Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Bouk and Zoobie show on the world famous LIR.com, 927 LIR.com, and YouTube. I am John Kalaboukas, the Bouk, with my friend Paul Zubulake, Zoobie. So, the week of the Super Bowl, what could absolutely ruin everything that we speak about with football but the the New Jersey Jets? Can't call them the New York Jets.
John, hello. How are you, man? I just want to let everybody out there know John had a little laryngitis last few weeks, so I was chomping at the bit, wanting to talk about the fiasco in Florham Park with the head man aptly named Captain Chaos, Woody Johnson. Let's talk Jets, John.
I mean, all those weeks that I couldn't speak, I think my fingers were hurting me with the texting that was going on. I mean, Aaron Glenn is a disaster. We knew it. You could talk about it a little bit more. But the fact is, you know that he's not a leader because you selected all of these people, made these grandiose speeches. Buckle your seatbelts. Yeah, buckle our seatbelts for the crash that's coming. It was more like it. But now, a year later, or less than a year later, he's firing everyone. Everyone. So all these people that he carefully hand selected and praised and said this person's gonna do well are all gone. Everyone's gone.
It is really an unbelievable development, and he is joining John a select company now. One of the guys on the Jets beat, I think it was the guy from the Athletic, Zach Rosenblatt, threw this out there, and I'm not sure if it's true, but somebody came up, I think it was him, came up with this that the only other time in NFL, I think, believe history or recent history at least, where a coach in his first year fired his OC and DC in the first year was the immortal Hugh Jackson, who did that when he was with Cleveland, where he incredibly started one year, he was 1 in 15. And then the second year, he was 0 in 16, John. So Aaron Glenn has put himself in this elite company. And, it's only February, folks. And this is going to be a little Super Bowl preview as well. But we have to go here and the absolute nonstop chaos out of Florham Park, where I don't know what to believe anymore, John. I really don't, because this is like, I mean, we started, and it's funny, we talked about this before we got in the show when we talked about Aaron Glenn's hiring actually right before he got hired. And I was like, I got to go back and check it out. And what did we say? And it's episode 89, folks, if you ever want to go back to the archives on YouTube and Spotify, where we talked about the Jets hiring a first time defensive coordinator as their head coach, not only as the head coach, but also basically the face of the franchise, where there was nobody, as always with this wonderful organization, between the head coach and the owner. And this is what happens when you don't have a solid football person in the organization who can shield ownership from the direct day to day operation of the team. Because I cannot believe that Aaron Glenn was sitting around saying, oh, we need, like, Tanner Angstrom needs to be replaced. Uh, like, I don't know if it was his decision, John. Now, Wilkes on defense was definitely his decision, and he obviously fired him even before the end of the year. And we said it was a bad hire when they hired him, and it was. So, I mean, we've spent the last show kind of almost defending Aaron Glenn. At least I have been. by saying like at least he's involved with like Moogie making these deals that can maybe give this franchise some hope as we enter in, as we get closer to April, where we have four premium picks this year as next year, where they really could, if they pick the right players for once, have a nice building block where they really can make this 3 to 5 year rebuild actually work. But his ineptness that he is showing, John, and then the next step is what's going to happen replacing Engstrom, where he's brought in three like relics of offensive coordinator fame: Frank Reich, Greg Roman, and Darrell Bevel. This is the three guys that they come up with, all recently fired. I'm not, again, they're not terrible coaches. Of course they're not. But is that like going to really make a difference? I mean, this next hire, which will definitely have happened probably by the time people check out our show, is just an easy step towards getting fired in year two, John. I mean, it just unfortunately, it just, because they're not going to be good. They're still not going to be good next year. And how is he going to survive it? And it really is just a never ending. It just never stops with this franchise.
Well, but you know what, I pointed it out in the last show, and everyone's saying, "Oh, let's give Glenn a second year and this and that." I'm just tired of the Jets trying out all these first timers all the time. It's always like, yes, we got the new like Salah now. He's going with the Titans. Okay, he was supposed to be like this genius, and uh, I'm just tired.
Culture builder, John, culture builder.
Yeah,
That's
culture builder. Yeah, the cheerleader. It's got to stop, because here I'm watching all of these top coaches now, even some who were fired, getting rehired. That's why I was saying, let's get Harbaugh. I mean, the Giants are going to be in very, very good hands. I mean, that's what the Jets need, what the Giants just did. Let's get some proven winners who know what the hell they're doing. We keep getting all these first timers, and they're going to change this and they're going to change that and blah, blah. And it's the same old crap. It's the same thing. It always ends up, even with GM too. All right, I'll give this guy Moogie a chance. Let's give him a shot. But if he messes up this draft, oh my God. I mean, the Jets will be. I actually wrote a list of the offensive coordinators that have been fired by the Jets and where they are now. So this guy Enstrom ended up with the Falcons. He got hired, I think, what is it, as a they called it passing game coordinator. Then they have LaFleur, who just became the head coach for the Cardinals.
It's hard to believe.
Schottenheimer, who's head coach of the Cowboys. And even that slug, Nathaniel Hackett, he's actually, where the hell is he now? He's with the Dolphins as a quarterback coach. So all these guys that we threw out of here as offensive coordinator have landed elsewhere in decent positions. We can't have these first timers anymore. I'm tired of it. Get me someone. I don't know who would want to come here. I agree with Alexander from last week. Who in their right mind would want to come here? Unless they get paid a tremendous amount of money and give them some ownership of the team. I don't know what you can do here.
Well, what you can do.
Gruden, hey, Gruden is still out there. Well, I was talking about Gruden. I was hiring Gruden. Supposedly, the Jets reached out to them. I don't know how true that is.
He denied it. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Of course, he's going to deny it, because what you're going to really go to the Jets? I mean, come on, man. Unless he's the head coach, he's going to go under Glenn. He'd be insane to take.
I don't know how much validity that had, or what. Maybe there was some discussions. Well, who knows?
There was some discussion today. I don't know if you heard about what went on in FAN today. So this is during the Tiki show. I forgot the name of the guy that, not the other kid,
Not
Evan.
Evan. No,
This the
it's
other
not even.
guy.
It's not even worth mentioning him. He's a clown, John. But whatever. Okay, what did
Anyway, no,
what?
they were saying that supposedly
Yeah.
they were going to hire Wink Martindale, and he went down there to negotiate his salary for him, and he was told, "I'm paying you 12 million a year. You be the defensive coordinator." That Woody said to Glenn that, "Yeah, I'm paying you 12 million a year. You call the defense, and you're not going to hire Wink Martindale."
Right. Okay. Is it possible that that happened? Yeah, I guess it's possible. Sure. Get this, John. This feeds into the whole thing that this show has talked about since inception. And again, I want to quickly thanks everybody for checking out our show, right, John? Bouk and
Yeah.
Zoobie Show on YouTube.com, Spotify.com. Please subscribe, like the episodes, right? It drives that algorithm. And of course, our friends at LIR Internet Radio, the world famous LIR 92.7. Was it? It was a 92.7 LIR. We haven't been on. You said last week, John. It's been like a month now, so
It's been a
it's been a
month.
while. So whatever the
Yeah.
second collators of our buddies at the LIR, the world famous LIR.com. And we appreciate everybody checking out our content. But again, this is one of the themes on our Jet covers that we've talked about since day one, which personally I've been talking about for about 20 years, is that this owner is just an absolute train wreck. And he is there every day of his life in the building. And it is a huge problem. We have talked about getting a football person as a head of football operations who hires the GM, and then the GM and the football operations guy hires the coach, and then with those two and the coach, they hire a staff. And that's the way a good organization is run. John Harbaugh would have, in a million years, was not coming to the
No, I
Jets. It
know.
was
I know.
relevant. Now, a name that will definitely be on, I think, number one for next year is going to be Sean McDermott,
Yeah.
because he's got probably going to have a chip on his shoulder, and he's going to want to show the Buffalo owner that he wasn't the problem. So I think that's the guy, and he's got warts. All of these people, nobody's perfect, right, John? I mean, look at
No.
Sean Payton. He's a great coach, but his stubbornness and dumb decision making kept his team, in my opinion, out of the big game. And we're going to talk about the big game, but we always got to talk about the Jets first. So that's the coaching situation. We're going to hire Retread as OC. They hired a kid named, he's a kid, literally, Brian Duker, on defense to be the defensive coordinator. But as you already mentioned, John, Aaron Glenn is going to be the defensive coordinator, adding more responsibility to him. So this is just, it's almost, you just, when is it going to happen? And it's sad because it starting over again. It just it's like a never ending you're just never going to be successful, John, with this instability in the organization, and it just continues to happen.
I was actually more stunned to hear that we're paying him 12 million a year. I'm like, what?
What? The coach is
12 million a year?
John Harbaugh got 20. Yeah, it's amazing. I know.
Yeah, but
Aaron Glenn, they'll
Aaron
take it.
Glenn, 12 million? Come on. I was thinking maybe 4 or 5 million because he's the first time he'd be very happy to even get a job.
It's
12
crazy.
million? Wow.
5-year deal. Yeah, he's
What?
coaching next year, folks. Will he survive? I give it, my God, it's probably 25% chance. I hope I'm wrong. Hey, I hope Muji goes in there, or Moogie, we're still deciding, and makes, has a great draft. And that's what I quickly want to get to, John, before we talk about the Super Bowl. This is my thought about the Jets and the strategy that they should employ going into the draft. So we're going to have a draft show, folks. We're going to have Alex, who's just was on our show. He's going to be back, folks, with his great predictions about who are sleepers, who he likes, and we're going to add a little challenge to him on this show coming up. So I'm going to give my view on it. The Jets have 4 premium picks. 2, 16, 33, and I was at 42. I always forget that last one, whatever it is, 44, 42, whatever it is, 39, who knows. 4 picks. This team cannot miss, John, on any of these picks. They have to all be home runs. And my view is, and we could talk about players, but what I would like them to do is to address the defense with the first 3 picks. Get a impact player on the front line, the front 4, in the linebacking core, the second level, and in the back end, the third level, secondary. I want a defensive tackle, linebacker, and a safety or corner. That's what I want them to do because they have to. I mean, the defense is a disaster. Then they have a wild card with that 4th pick. They could trade, obviously, and get maybe a 3rd round pick. That'd be nice. They don't have one, folks. Don't forget. Or, in my view, what they should do is take whatever quarterback that they feel is the best option at that pick based on their evaluations. And it could be, predicting who is going to be available in the, mid to early 2nd round in the draft is kind of foolish because it's still way too early. You got to get through the combine. They just got through the Senior Bowl, and not everybody's playing in these games. So if it's Ty Simpson by some chance slides, or Beck or Nussmeier from LSU, guys that will most likely be there in the 2nd round, because this way that player comes in as the 4th guy of the draft class, not the top guy. So that would be my thought. We'll talk about who that player is going to be closer to the draft. That's the way I look at it, because by bringing in that player in that spot, you don't have to start him right away. But if you get a guy like, say, Carson Beck as example, who's played a lot of football, you might let him play and see what you have. Because ultimately, this franchise, John, is going to most likely take a quarterback in the following draft when they have 3 first-round picks. So they're in a unique situation where they can address quarterback in this draft. Don't reach. Let's see who slides down. And they have to, they obviously have to like the player too. And they have to have the guts, John. If they don't like any of them, then you don't take anyone and take any quarterback. And then you take another. They need receiver, right? They need safety. There's tons of things this team needs. So that's something that's what I would love for them to do, because I want some excitement. Because let's face it, John, we're headed for, I mean, it's probably going to be Kirk Cousins. I mean, this is really hysterical after how many years where they had their chance, where they came in 2nd. I didn't want him then, and now he's going to be our quarterback at age 38. I think he ends up being the guy, John. He's going to get released. He's a good guy at least, and he's going to come in and try, and he'll be a good mentor for this pick that I hope they make. And even the year after, if they have him stick around as a backup for the inevitable pick the year after. So this is where this franchise still is going to make it, John, in the next 2 seasons, most likely with a different head coach. And then based on the draft, we don't know about the GM. That's the way I see it.
Well, and throw in with all that, I mean, which it's actually very good for the Jets, is that they're increasing the cap. So the Jets will actually have $82 million to work with this offseason. So they can make some good signings. I'm hoping that they keep Breece Hall, hopefully. I mean, I think that would be a stupid move if they did not keep him. But they're actually increasing. They're saying it's between 301 million to 305 million is the new cap. So that helps out the Jets quite a bit.
Right. And the problem with veteran free agency, right? Most of the guys that you're getting there are been around the league a long time. There's not how many impact guys become available. There are a few. It happens. And we'll talk about a guy that the Patriots signed, and they and they went down this road. So I'm not going to tell. I'm kind of leaning against that because I do think because they still don't have a quarterback. But I get what you're saying. They have to get legitimate guys in here. The problem is you just don't want to overpay
Right,
guys
of course,
who are
of
coming
course.
here just for the paycheck because
Right.
that can have a terrible impact. So they really have to be smart about who they're bringing in. And then it's just people don't want to hear about it, John. But year two of the 3 to 5 year rebuild usually is not a successful season. So that's the long term. It's sad and it's pathetic.
We try to tell all these young Jet fans that were chirping, they were so happy about Fields and all, and I'm like, we were both saying, nah. I mean, I think I expect them to win 6 games. I don't know what you said, 5.
Well, actually, I do remember. So it was 5.5, but we said you could either choose six or you had to do. We made it the number six because 5.5 was cheap. I
Right.
took exactly six. I think you took over, John, but you might want to check the tape.
Okay, I will.
So, John, I was actually leaning. I was talking about going under, but again, folks, we want this franchise to be successful. Like we don't do this
Right,
show to
right.
like predict our teams are going to do bad and then we want them to do bad. I mean, we
No, I
just tell
know.
it like it is.
Right,
So,
right, right.
yeah, I would love to know what the current. I mean, they can't even make a current under over anyway right now. They don't even know who the quarterback is. So, I think it. I mean, it all to me, it just seems that. And you know the other name, John, which is really funny, that you'll laugh, and some of our old viewers will laugh, but Jimmy G is still around. He backed up Stafford this year and didn't play it down, I don't think.
That's true.
So never give up, hey, folks. Jimmy G,
Oh man.
quarterback of the 2026 Jets,
Oh
most
boy.
likely Kirk Cousins, and get ready. But at least those guys, John, know what to do, unlike Justin Fields, who I mean, just literally was scared to throw the ball. I mean, he refused.
He was
He was
awful.
so up. He did not want to throw picks so bad that it was just incredible. Like sitting there watching him was just brutal. And then another thing we just have to mention quick, John, because we haven't been on in a while. The Jets finishing a 17-game schedule as a defense with no interceptions is something that is just and for Darren Glenn as a head coach, who's a corner, was a corner, to think that that actually could happen, and they only had 4 defensive turnovers
My God.
all year. Some of these playoff games, they have like four. Well, I know it was weather related, but some of them had 4 turnovers in the first half. That's how many turnovers were happening, and they could not get one
Wow.
interception.
That's
Can you
crazy.
get a worse season? I mean, Glenn's lucky Richie Kotite's 1 in 15 teams exist. I'm sorry, folks. That still is the all-time worst Jet team. I'm sorry. People
Yep.
like to, this team won 3 games. They tanked, and they did a great job of tanking. I will give them that.
Well, and I will always thank Mr. Zubulake for giving up his one ticket where my brother and I actually went to actually see a Jet game. I think it was against the Eagles during that 1 in 15 season, and it was actually raining, and we were sitting in the rain watching that awful team. So Mr. Zublik showed his true friendship by giving me that game and watching that team that year.
Oh my God. Oh my John. Those years were rough. You could not give a ticket away. Yeah, best decision I ever made was giving up my tickets. It's been now it's over 10 years. And it's sad. It's just a sad thing.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed. So we are going to, we'll be. I don't know how many shows we're going to do before the draft. Well, as always with our show, we're kind of dropping episodes as we can. So we'll see how many we have coming out because we'll probably want to do like a March Madness show, right, John?
Yeah.
And obviously the Knicks in the playoffs, which we'll get to a little later.
Oh,
So yeah, you got one more on the Jets. Go for it. Or the Giants.
no, actually, you were mentioning about the draft. So if
Okay.
this guy, this very arrogant guy, Diego Pavia, who was So it actually came out, and I've been saying this for many, many years, how they lie about height and weight with these. So it came out that they had listed him as 6 feet, 207 pounds. It turns out that this guy was 5'9.5", because he actually had to get measured for this
The Senior Bowl, the Senior
the
Bowl. Yeah.
Senior Bowl.
There's nowhere to
Five
hide. Yeah.
nine and a half was
Yeah.
his height.
And you know the funny thing about Pavia is he's like a Tommy DeVito type, right? Where somebody's going to get him. Probably he may be like a seventh rounder. He's going to be late rounder or be undrafted free agent. And you'll see him in an NFL game. He's not going to lead any team to the playoffs, but I have a feeling he's going to be in the league just because he is he's an arrogant kid, but he's cocky and he's got ability. And not that the Jets are going to be interested. And the other kid is who I didn't mention earlier is Chambliss, right? The kid at Mississippi who played well. He's undersized. He's like petitioning for another year in college. I'll throw him if he can't get the extra year and he goes in the draft. I will include him in that group of guys at that fourth pick of the draft for the Jets, not the fourth round, fourth pick. He would be in consideration because he's a competitor and he's a winner and he's a smart kid. So he's undersized, but Pavia is extremely undersized, and but I just have a feeling, John, you're going to see him one day. I don't know when, and he's going to make a play, and you'll laugh because again, not that he's going to lead to the team to the Super Bowl, but there's something about certain individual athletes that just refuse to say no. So it will be interesting to see how what happens with him.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, just lying about height and weight again.
Well, there's nowhere to hide in this stuff, right? So between the Senior Bowl and the Combine, there's nowhere to hide. And a lot of guys don't work out anymore. A lot of guys are not playing in the Senior Bowl game. No, a lot of the guys aren't. But even in the practices, they prefer the confines of a pro day. These are the top guys. So we'll get into the Jets. Like I said, 3 levels on D, hopefully a quarterback. I know people want a receiver. I wouldn't mind one, but they got to do something on the defensive side of the ball.
100%.
So anyway, all right, let's you ready to talk Super Bowl here or what? Or maybe you want to I mentioned it briefly. Yeah, we'll talk Super Bowl, but we got to mention the championship games. And we haven't been around for a while. And the overall playoffs. The overall playoffs were absolutely riveting, right? I mean, they really were. They were just one half to the other, right, John? Great games. But Buffalo's just absolute. Josh Allen, he just picked the wrong time not to have his best game, right, John? And then I'm sorry, Sean Payton getting probably the worst break that a coach could get with your quarterback, right? Bo Nix.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, gets hurt. He doesn't play. But then he's got a kid, Jared Stidham, who he throws in there. He makes a great throw in the beginning of the game. He's up 7-0. They drive again. They're in easy field goal range to make it 10-0 in the first half when you're playing your backup. And then on top of it, you got a storm coming in the second half. I mean, did he know that was not? Was it explained why in the world that he would even contemplate not going up 2 scores? And the next thing you know, the Pats are in the Super Bowl. I mean, it just is. This had to set up as a Jet curse Super Bowl, John, and we got it. New England and against Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, you always have that. There's always a Jet angle, John.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned about that because I'm watching the game and I'm saying to myself, kick the field goal. What are you doing? I said, you have it's not like you have Bo Nix. If you had Bo Nix as your quarterback, maybe that's sensible. But you have someone that hasn't played all year, and now you're going to depend on him to make a play, kick the field goal, go up 10-0. You're at home.
Right. And the defense could win the game on their
Right.
own.
I
They
was
could win
stunned by that
and
call.
and it wasn't inches. It wasn't inches. It was what, fourth and two, or
Yeah, fourth
third
and
and a
two.
half, where they had to throw for it. It just, what did this? I'm sorry. It's just dumb.
That cost them the game, as
John,
far as I'm
why
concerned.
we talked about this many times about the love affair with these fourth downs based on the analytics, and it's just incredible. This, I don't know what, if the analytics told you it's the analytics don't know the weather situation. The analytics don't know who's the quarterback. It's beyond that. You have to use common sense. And it's, because great coaches can skate. It happened to John Harbaugh a few years, John.
Yes,
People
it did.
forget. He made
Yeah.
a dopey decision going for it for fourth down, right? I think it was in his own territory or whatever.
Yeah.
And he basically lost the game. And then they're still doing it. They're still doing it. Dan Campbell didn't even make the playoffs this year. He's still doing it. It's
Yeah.
like, and I'm just afraid, like guys like Aaron Glenn, they fall into this trap. It's like again, John, as I said earlier, there's a time and a place for going for it on fourth down.
Yeah.
And it's not every time. It just doesn't make sense. It really, I'm sorry. I just sat there in stunned disbelief because I was desperate for the Pats not to get in the Super Bowl.
I couldn't believe that they did that. And I wanted to know what your opinion was in the Buffalo game with the so-called catch/interception.
I thought it was an interception.
You thought so? Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Sean, the NFL, what is the rule, right? That's really what matters. And there was a debate about the wording of the rule, because typically when you catch a ball, you have to survive the ground for it to be complete. Right. So if the defensive player wasn't there and he jumped up, caught it, and on the way down lost the ball, or the defender was there, and it would have been an incomplete pass. It would have been if that ball hit the ground, it would have been an incomplete pass.
Right.
So if it was gonna hit the ground, it would have been an incomplete pass. Then to me, it's an interception because it never hit the ground and the defender got the ball. Now, what does the rule actually say? Because it was, he just didn't have it. He didn't make the catch, unfortunately. So John, Buffalo, it's a brutal way to lose. I look at what happened there was that the owner is still upset about the 13 seconds with Kansas City loss. And his mind was like, he blew that game at the end by not squibbing and playing a soft defense and letting them freaking win that game. That's insane, that loss. They never should have lost that game. His view was, if he doesn't get to the Super Bowl, he's done. And that's what they did. And they stuck with it. And they named Joe Brady the OC, the head coach. So it wasn't like he's literally blaming McDermott. And I'm sorry, I think he could not get over that defeat. So it's amazing. And being Jet fans, we only can dream to be in these games. But these fans, it's rough to take being a Buffalo fan. This is another playoff failure. Their defense is, I don't know, not good enough because they rely on Josh Allen so much. And John, he did not have a good game.
No, he didn't.
And he missed Dawson Knox, right? That one play, right? He had him.
He had the fumble right before the.
Oh, that was ridiculous. Another one of these, John, at the end of the half, this obsession that I got to try to get points. You got no timeouts, or you're on your side of the field with 15 seconds, and you just take a knee and get out of there.
Yeah.
So dumb. It's amazing between these games. You saw some of this stuff. So, here we are, John. We got the nightmare. This is a Jet fan nightmare, and I like Sam Darnold. So it's easy to say I'm going to root for Sam Darnold. So, John, you mind if I go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the line, folks, for this game is it's 4.5, John. So that is Seattle favored over the Pats. So my view on this one, John, and I've been thinking about it. So as our fans will remember, last year's call. So I got to see if I can make it 2 years in a row. This is a game that I have a feeling that Sam Darnold is gonna choke it away.
Hmm.
I am
Interesting.
looking at a few things. I'm really worried about him. And New England, they have been fierce stopping the run, led by a guy who I want to mention, Milton Williams, who we mentioned last year, who is with the Eagles. And now we find out, hey, this guy can play. He's leading that defense. They are just tough, John. And Mike Vrabel is a tough dude. And my key to the game is, can Kenneth Walker have a big game? I feel like that is a must. So I'm not sure what the number is. It's like maybe if it's 70, 75 yards. Kenneth Walker needs to have a big game. And I'm talking 80 and above on the ground to make sure that they don't have to rely on Sam. Because I just have this feeling the pressure's going to get to Sam in the first time Super Bowl, and he's not going to be able to do it. On the New England side, two things I'm going to throw out there. I'm going to say that Travion Henderson, who's technically their backup running back, right? They play Stevenson, they play Henderson, who's the kid from Ohio State, was a second round pick. John, I am predicting on the Bouk and Zoobie show that Travion Henderson will have a touchdown run of over 50 yards in this game.
Okay.
And coupled with the ability of Drake May to scramble for back-breaking first downs, which he did again against Denver, he has that knack, and he's much more athletic than you think. He makes enough plays in that part of the game. They get a big play on by Henderson. Sam Darnold shats the bed with a 3 interception game. And the New England Patriots, Sean, with the ultimate nightmare for Jet fans, bring home the Lombardi Trophy. And I'll go 23-17.
23-17. Okay.
So that means you're betting the money line, which is I think it's like $195 for $100 bet. That's my call this year, John, and the reasons behind it. And we will find out if Zoobie wants to be on the show after the game or not. So if you don't hear from us for about 3 or 4 months, I was completely wrong. So, John, what do you think?
I am going against you on this.
Okay.
And I actually think that, number one, I want to see Sam Darnold win. I would like to see the Seahawks win. And I actually think that he will do well in this game. It's funny. I just read a book. I'm trying to look up the name of it. Oh, here it is. Okay. I read a book about a man named Art Mantaris. Happens to be Greek.
Okay.
Who was one of the top sports bookmaker in Las Vegas. It's a great book. It's called The Bookie: Inside the High Stakes World of Sports Betting, a legendary bookmaker's tale of gangster celebrities and the art of the game. And he gives insight into how they set the lines on all this stuff. And it is amazing how they have contacts in every city, in every team, knowing who's injured, who was out at night. It is amazing. It's a great book. You have to read it. Art Mantaris. I think that Sam Darnold will win the first Super Bowl for the Seahawks, only because he's had a great year. He's been playing hurt. He's gutsy. I always liked him. I just never understood why the Jets gave up on him for a cream puff like Zach Wilson. I mean, the guy was a cream puff. He had nice looking girlfriends. That's about it. But I always liked Sam Darnold. He's a bigger guy. He's tough. He's been playing hurt. I don't think he's going to panic. I don't think.
Right.
I think he's much more mature now. He's been through hell with all these different teams. Uh, even the Vikings, it's amazing that the GM admitted that he made a mistake, and then he got fired for saying that. It's amazing. He
Yeah.
basically got himself fired for making that comment. He should have been a little bit smarter. But I am going to say 21-10 Seahawks.
Okay, so there you go, folks. The Bouk and Zoobie Super Bowl predictions. We are going against each other, and that makes it a little more fun. We'll see how it goes. Yes, we're not gonna. There's not much. I guess there's more to say. I mean, it's what are we on? We're talking on Tuesday evening. This show is probably not going to get dropped till about Thursday.
February
Producer's a
3rd.
little busy. So yeah, today's February 3rd, as we continue the deep freeze in the Northeast, John. I mean, this is, I don't know what to say. So there's nothing else to do but watch sports because you go outside and you freeze your butt off. So hopefully everybody's doing okay out there. And anyway, so I mean, we're not. The bottom line is with this game is that it's just painful to talk about, and the thought of the Patriots being in the Super Bowl. It's like I'm picking them because I just feel that Sam is just not ready in the big game. But speaking of big games, John, is another thing we did not talk about since we haven't been on in a long time was the football championship game, which led to Dylan Brooks, right? I always call him the wrong name. My God, the Oregon quarterback, who thankfully Dylan Brooks, right? Is it Dylan Brooks? It's not Dylan Brooks, right? Oh my God, got to edit my stupidity on this kid's name. Because Dylan Brooks is an NBA player, right? I think so.
Yeah.
It's just too funny where I get confused. Anyway, he's doing us a favor. He's going back to school. John, talk about crap in the bed. I mean, this kid, it would have been a disaster for the Jets to draft him. He's just not ready. And this talk, oh, he didn't want to come to the Jets, didn't want to enter the draft. That's kind of insane because he's really thrown a ton of money away having that attitude. But I think he realized he's just not ready. And there's nothing wrong with admitting you're not ready.
You're talking about Oregon?
Yeah, Oregon's quarterback. Yeah.
Dante Moore.
Why do I call him Dylan Brooks?
I don't know.
Dylan Brooks played basketball at Oregon. Right. Dante Moore. Thank you, John, for bailing me out. Maybe the producer will edit that part out. Sorry, he won't. Anyway, so yeah, Dante Moore, I apologize. So the dream of getting a quarterback failed in that game, and that was our hope, right? I had told the fans, you have to hope that Dante Moore plays well and outplays Mendoza to make it like where the Raiders would actually be interested in him. So they would, the Jets could maybe get Mendoza. That flamed out miserably. Congratulations to Indiana. What a year, John. And I'll tell you, I don't know how good Mendoza is going to be in the NFL. As our good buddy Alex said, he's not that high on him. And a lot of people agree. And I comped him as Bernie Kosar. So again, I don't think he's John Elway. But the kid is just such a likable kid. He would have been great in New York.
Yeah. I actually liked the way Carson Beck played. I was
until that last pass, right?
To that last pass. He played well in that game.
He's gutsy. I like him too. A lot of people don't like him. He's kind of had like those, when the moment gets big, he makes the bad throw, but at least he gets you to the bad throw to make, right? It's not like he's had a lot of success. He's physically, I think, a quarterback size that you like. I would take him in that second round, John. I would take him. I like him. So we'll have Alex determine that. He'll tell us who's his guys, who's his top guys. We'll go with him. Sorry, Dante Moore. Maybe you're lucky that I refer to you as Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks is like the Draymond Green of he's like a Draymond Green. You know that, right, John? Hey, that's a perfect way. We're talking Draymond Green. We're talking Dylan Brooks. We're talking NBA. As we have mentioned on our show numerous times, the only hope for a championship, and that's what only matters, folks. That's all that matters. It's about winning championships. Obviously, you want to be a good team and have long-term success, but you want to win championships. So we haven't talked forever, John. I will give a James Najee update as well during our basketball coverage. So let's start with the Knicks. And you're talking about them today on a little bit of a streak here. If we talked 2 weeks ago, you might have felt a little different, but you're an honest guy. What's your thought? What do you think?
I've been waiting for them to play defense, and they finally started to play defense. That's why they've won these 6 games. Mr. Zubulake was supposed to come with me on Martin Luther King Day to go see the Knicks and the Dallas Mavericks.
The call of the year, John.
And unfortunately, Mr. Zubulake fell ill, and I had the misfortune of taking Mrs. Kalaboukas to her first Knick game ever, only to see a team that didn't bother showing up. It was a packed crowd. I mean, there was not one seat that was not taken in that game. And to see the Knicks put zero effort and to get blown out and play the worst game, by far the worst game of the year. I mean, it wasn't even close.
Is that their last loss? Is that their last loss?
That's their last loss. And they were booed 3 to 4 different times in that game. It was an awful game. I mean, we actually left like 2 minutes into the fourth quarter. I said, Stella, let's make the train. This is not even worth watching. And we got out of there.
Oh, man.
So it was brutal. It was brutal. I mean, it was nice to see Cooper Flag. I mean, the kid is an amazing player. He's going to be Rookie of the Year. Actually, Dallas has some really nice young talent on that team. I mean, they really do. But with the Knicks, their only chance is if they play defense. They have to play defense. So the fact that they've held teams 100 points and under in the last 6 games, and they've won all 6, and they had some decent teams that they were playing. It was great to see them hustling, because I'm telling you, when they start giving up 120, 130, that most of the time they're not going to win the game. And thank God, again, when Josh Hart is in the lineup, when Adenobi is healthy, when Robinson is in there, it's a totally different team. And I kind of like that they're giving Robinson days off. Let's keep preserving him when we need it, because we're going to need him in the playoffs.
Sure, I agree.
It's a big Towns cannot play defense, and he needs to stop complaining every single time that he misses a shot and he's screaming at the referee. There's so many times that you could say something to the referee where they're just going to ignore you, because there have been plays where I've seen the replay where he actually did get hit, but because he complained so many times during the game, it's like, the boy who cried wolf. How many times are you going to complain? Every call? So Towns and again, Brunson still cannot play defense.
Well, it's not going to change, John. That's
the
way they are. But if they use the other players properly, and like you said, if they can stay healthy, they got a shot, right? That's your view, I would think, right?
They got a shot
to win it all. We're talking about winning it all. Obviously, you got to get to the finals first. Yes. They have a shot. Now, as I hate to say it, the East is looking pretty good, John. There's a lot of pretty good teams in that East this year. There's not a lot of depth, right? But there's probably 6 or 7 teams, especially with this trade deadline. I have to ask you about that. Giannis to the Heat. Is that going to put them over the top?
I mean, they had so many trades today.
Yeah, there were a few, right?
The one that I can't believe that Cleveland would even consider is trading Garland straight up for Harden. Are you kidding me? You're trading a 26-year-old star that, he's been injured
Right.
for a 36-year-old malcontent.
Did it
I
happen? Did that trade happen?
no, but
Oh, okay.
they're saying it's almost ready to happen. And I'm like, that is an insane trade. Why would you do that? Harden always gets upset. He asked for an extension from the Clippers. I think was it 2 years, 80 million he wanted, and the owner said no. He's 36 years old.
He's
How
right.
many times is he going to change uniforms? This guy, terrible. But no,
Okay.
the trades that I tell you, a trade that went through today, which the Celtics really, I think, made a tremendous trade. Vucevic, that they got from the Bulls, the center. The guy's a great player. I love that guy as a player. He's going to go right into the. I mean, the Celtics, believe it or not, even with Tatum being out, they're 3 games behind the Knicks. I mean, they've been playing well with Brown and that whole supporting cast, but they made a great trade today. They gave up Simons and a second rounder for Vucevic and a second rounder. So I know what the Bulls are doing. They're going to use Simons and then, let him leave as a free agent to, have some cap space. But the other one, I think the T-Wolves are going to maybe get Yanni.
You think so? Well, you don't think that him to the Heat is likely to happen? It
No,
seemed like
you know why? You know why I'm thinking what happened here. So there was this trade that involved the Pistons, the Bulls, and the T-Wolves. The T-Wolves got nothing out of the trade. They didn't get draft picks. They didn't get players. They gave up Conley, who wasn't really playing, but I think he's making like $20 million. They traded him to the Bulls with Ivy. Ivy went from the Pistons to the Bulls. The T-Wolves sent the Bulls Conley, and the Pistons ended up getting I never knew how to pronounce the name. Herder? The sharpshooter.
Oh, Kevin Herder, yeah.
Herder.
The Maryland
guy. First rounder, and that guy Sarek, Darko, whatever his name is.
Right. A lot of these guys get traded every year. Yeah.
Yeah. The T-Wolves got no one. They ended up getting that salary relief. So I'm thinking that they're trying really hard to get Yanni right now. I don't think Yanni's going to be traded.
You don't?
I don't think he's going to be. I think they're going to wait until the summertime.
Wow. All right. Well, that's a huge.
But I'm looking at the
I want him to go to the Heat. That would be.
I'm looking at the T-Wolves. No, that
hoping.
Trade that was made by the T-Wolves opened up enough space that they can add Yanni. Now, are they willing to give up a lot for him?
Right.
I don't know. I think if I were the Bucks, I would wait until the summer to trade him because I think they could get more.
I see where you're headed here. You get him to the West, right? Get him out of the East, or don't trade him. That's what you're hoping, because if he goes to the Heat,
no.
And the only thing the Heat are really giving up is Ware and Hero, who, let's face it, Hero hasn't played the whole year, and they get Yanni. I think that makes them a potential competitor. Otherwise, they're not. So
and Riley sticks it to the Knicks again.
I think that's what you're worried about. You go west, get him the heck out of here. So it's fascinating. We'll see what happens, because you've got the pulse of the NBA. I guess when is the trade deadline? When is it technically?
3:00 on Thursday.
3:00 this Thursday. So yeah, like I said, this show's not getting posted probably till Thursday morning. John will be watching the show, reviewing his performance on the show, and keeping his fingers crossed that we get Yanni out of the East, so his Knicks have one less team to deal with. I agree with you on the Harden move. That's like a suicide move.
What? Yeah, but you know what they did? But look what Cleveland did. So, and I think they made a great trade here. Is they gave up Hunter.
He got rid of
to Sacramento. What the hell Sacramento doing? And they gave up this kid Keon Ellis, who's a good player, and Schroeder, who Listen, he'll be a pain in the neck during
Yeah,
the playoffs. He always is, and he's going
yeah.
to be on Cleveland. Um, I just don't understand what Sacramento is doing. I mean, they're totally destroying their team. I mean, they're still. Uh,
John,
I don't know
it's
what that kid's
Sacramento.
doing.
I mean, they're the Jets of the NBA. Let's face it.
Oh,
So they're the Buffalo Sabres of the NBA, who are the Jets of the
oh.
NHL. Anyway, go.
There's actually one other trade that I
Why not?
couldn't believe that was made today. Jaren Jackson,
Oh yeah, Jack.
Memphis trading him away
Where'd he
to
go though? Where'd he
to
go?
Utah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He went to Utah and they gave all these 3 first-round draft picks and like 4 players for Jackson and some other players. Guy's a great player.
He is a good player.
Is John Morant going to be the next one out of there? He may
He's not.
be.
He's the James Harden of of this era. Let's face it. I mean, these guys are great talents, but they're pains in the neck, and they're just not winning players. Why in the world would I can imagine if the Knicks try to acquire James Harden or something, and you'd be
Ugh,
like losing your mind.
ugh.
They have a good makeup, John. If you watch when they're at full strength, and you hit it on the head, and they should and they got to rest Brunson too. I
Yeah.
mean, it doesn't matter where they finish. You definitely want you want to have the home advantage if you can. But if they're second, third, fourth, or first overall, I mean, does it make that much of a difference for the Knicks? Their health matters much more than that, in my
And I
opinion.
like the way Kolek has been playing.
Yeah, when
He's been
he's playing well, right?
improving. He knows how to distribute the ball. He's actually shooting well now. He has more confidence shooting the three. So I'm almost feeling like I'm seeing the old Kolek from Marquette, where
He's
he was killing St. John's with that shot. He
Now I
seems
thought
like
he
he,
was I thought he was losing some minutes though when McBride came back. Has Kolek been playing? I haven't been
yeah, he's been
focused.
playing because McBride has been out with that ankle injury.
So he's out again, McBride? He
Yeah,
was
he's been out for I think 3 games already.
oh my God, I can't
And
believe that.
Shamet
What a
has been
time.
playing great. I mean,
Shaman,
he's
yeah.
been hitting his 3 point, and he's a great defender. When he comes in, he's a great defender.
Yeah.
We just have some slugs on. They're not using Clarkson and not using your man Yabusele over there.
Yeah,
They're,
yeah.
they're trying to get rid of both of those guys, but no one's going to take it. But
Yeah.
another kid that we've got to keep an eye out on is this kid Diawara. I mean, 20 years old, and he's like, I don't know, he has a wingspan of like a telephone pole, this kid. He's very long, nice shot, plays great defense. Watch that kid. That kid is something else.
All right. Well, I will quickly, speaking of Knicks prospects, or in this case, a definite non-prospect, the immortal James Nagy, and people are like, who the heck is that? Who is the player who actually got drafted, and that's the biggest scandal of all time. How in this world did this kid get picked in the first round of the NBA draft is beyond belief. But when my beloved Baylor Bears picked him up, and everybody went crazy and ripping the coach, and what a disaster this is for college sports. And actually, since then, other guys are trying to, it's been crazy what's happened since. John, the numbers. He is averaging 1.2 points per game, 2.9 rebounds a game. He is averaging 10 minutes a game, and he has as many fouls as he has points 10. So I don't know what the heck happened there. I mean, this is purely, John. You walk into the gym and you see a guy work out and you think he can play. This kid has got no offensive game whatsoever. And I think he's got 5 turnovers too. So I don't know what the heck the Knicks. I mean, this guy, John, he is a project. He needs to stay in college for 2 or 3 more years. But anyway, folks, that will be that's your latest and your last James Nagy update on the Bouk and Zoobie Show.
Well, the one thing, since we're on college basketball,
yes, go
is
quick.
We will be seeing the new rankings came out, and
Okay.
St. John's is ranked second in the nation.
All right.
The UConn has fallen to number 3. Michigan is ahead of them.
Okay.
We will be seeing them Friday with our friends from school, meaning elementary and middle school. It'll be nice to see the guys.
Going to the Garden. This time I'll make it,
Going
John.
to
I
the
promise.
Garden, and my prediction is that St. John's will beat UConn because UConn has been very, very lucky this year in the Big East and very close games that they win in overtime. There's been too many close games. I think that as long as St. John's starts off well, if they cannot fall behind 15, 16 points and expect to come back against UConn like they have against Seton Hall and I forgot who they came back on. I think it was Creighton. They have to be within striking distance at halftime. They cannot have these massive, uh, being 15 or 16 points down. So my prediction is St. John's will win this game. Darling actually has shown to me now that he can be our point guard. He's been playing tough defense. He's actually been finally having the confidence to shoot. It's almost like watching Kolek with the Knicks, Darling with St. John's. It's almost simultaneously they're doing the same exact thing. Only Darling is a tough cookie. Right? He earned my respect. I wasn't sure about him for maybe like the first 10 games, but now, yeah, he's our point guard now. Even though they've been trying with Jackson and all these other guys.
Oh, well, I'm, as always, fired up for that game. The game within a game, Coach Danny Hurley. You see what he'll do, how many times he'll run out on the court after every timeout, yelling at the officials, and then hugging the same official 5 minutes later. The ultimate front runner. He's a great coach, though. I will say he is a good coach. He really is. Gets his kids to play. But I just wish his act is worn thin. Huge game for St. John's. This is a really big game for them, John. They have to show that they can play with the big boys. And John, there are some big boys this year. I'm telling you. This is not what usually I'll say like, oh, it's wide open. It's not that wide open this year. There are some teams, Arizona, Michigan, to name the two most obvious, that are they are really good, John. I mean, really good teams. So unfortunately, Duke again, really good.
Yeah.
So those three have kind of, in my view, separated themselves. And then you've got like probably 20 teams in a pile. St. John's and UConn are in that pile. And, who will play well down the stretch. Because before you know it, John, right? It's unbelievable how fast these seasons go. We'll be talking about Selection Sunday. And, Coach Pitino owes one to the Johnny fans, John. I'm sorry. I'm not going to let him skate. He's got to come through this year. I'm not saying he's got to get to the Final Four. I just don't know if they're good enough. But let me see on Friday. I have not been watching them like you have. I trust you on this. So we'll see how they play. So another thing, next time we have a show, we'll have a lot of things to go back to from this show and see how our predictions did.
Hey, listen, this game actually reminds me of the old St. John's Georgetown, just the anticipation, because all you have to do is go on Ticketmaster and see what the tickets are going for. It is outrageous what things are going. I mean, and I think it's the UConn fans that are buying all these tickets.
Sure.
I mean, it is insane. I mean, our tickets where we sit, we're in section 118 downstairs, is up to over $1,000 a ticket. It is ridiculous.
We'll talk about this offline. Maybe we should be making this trade. That is scary if the tickets are going for that much for this game.
It's ridiculous. You can't believe it. I was stunned. Even where our friends are sitting, are going for over $200 a seat now.
Don't
It's
tell them that,
ridiculous.
John. Don't tell them. They'll be selling these tickets like you can't imagine. Are you kidding me? Make a quick buck tax free. All right. Well, looking forward to it. As always, we love going to see the Johnnies play. So basketball, we'll say goodbye to that. Hockey, I'm not even going to bring up. It's a
Oh.
disaster. I mean, the only thing I will say is that the Islanders have one of the great young players
Yeah.
in Schaefer. Unlike Dante Moore, I remembered his name. Great player. Good for them. Good for their fans. Of course, doesn't help me as a Ranger fan. So, John, as always, there's one subject left. And as I always tell everybody who watches our show, you don't have to worry about off-season baseball and the ins and the outs and the names that all sound the same, because there's only one guy to listen to when it comes to New York tri-state area baseball, especially in Queens, with baseball, with Bouk.
Yeah, the good old Mets.
All right, there's a lot to get to.
There's a lot to get to.
All right, so I'll let you go. Go.
This whole nonsense with Tucker, okay? The fact that the Mets, it's still stunning to me that you let Diaz go over a couple of $1 million and Alonso, the way I look at it is if you would have kept those two guys, then you added the players I'm going to speak about, which I got 2 out of 3 pretty well. I predicted them, so I'm happy. But the fact that you would offer a guy like Tucker 4 years, $220 million, that's what the Mets offered him. A $75 million signing bonus for a guy that has injury problems, would be lucky if he drives in 100 runs, is lucky if he comes anywhere hitting 300. He's not a very good defensive outfielder. He used to be, not anymore. And yet you wanted to bid $55 million, more than Soto, more than Judge. It's just insane. It's insane. The fact that the Dodgers gave him a 4-year contract of $240 million, $60 million a year. This is crazy numbers for a mediocre. He's not a star. He's a very good player, but he's not a star. What are we doing with these salaries? And what were the Mets thinking here? So when they didn't make that move, thank God. Actually, thank God we didn't get him, or Bellinger. I didn't want Bellinger. I mean, the fact that the Yankees were suckered into paying that guy 5 years, $165 million is beyond me. I mean, totally overpaid for that guy. Listen, Yankee Stadium is made for Bellinger, but thank God I didn't want either one of these guys, to be honest. When I heard the numbers for Tucker, I said, this is crazy. And why they couldn't allocate that money to Diaz and Alonso. I mean, you would have had a very, very strong bullpen. You wouldn't have to worry about first base because, I'm sorry, Polanco's not going to hack it. The fact that he's played, couple of games at first, this is stupid. And saying, oh, well, he was a shortstop. He wasn't a very good shortstop. So what are we talking about here? Just a mishmash. So after they couldn't get Tucker, a man who I've been calling for the Mets to sign for second base was Bo Bichette.
Yes, you
Very
did.
happy. I was very happy. Overpaid for him. 3 years, $126 million. Okay, $42 million a year.
But what about the opt-outs? He's got opt-outs.
He could opt out after 1 year.
That's bad.
That's bad. And what drives me crazy is watching him in this the press conference and saying he always wanted to be a Met. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You were ready to sign with the Phillies. He actually had a deal with the Phillies for 7 years, $200 million. And then the Mets came out of nowhere and gave him this ridiculous offer. So, yeah, didn't always want to be a Met. So that now they're going to place him at third base, a position he's never played before.
Yep.
It would have been so much easier if you would have signed him. You didn't need Simeon. Let him play second base. Leave Beatty at third base. Let Vientos be the DH. Now what do we have? So we have Polanco at first, who should really be a DH. Simeon, who I hope he has a decent year. But now you're having Bichette at third base. This is a mishmash. And now they're going to have Beatty going all over the place in the outfield, first base, DH, Vientos the same way. It would have been so much easier if they would have signed Bichette for just second base and forget about Simeon. The other trade they made, a trade that they made was with Lewis Robert, who I've been calling for since the summer. I said, this guy, he reminds me of Cespedes. He has the power. He has a tremendous arm. He's a great outfielder. He just has had a couple of bad years. They got to help him out, understand the strike zone, because the guy has power. This could be the steal of all steals if they could straighten him out somehow. This guy could be a 30 to 40 home run hitter, drive in 100 runs, if he would just stop swinging at every pitch that he sees. He's not a bad ball hitter at all. He strikes out a lot.
Right. It's a concern. Yes.
But still, he's solid. He's a solid outfielder. I was very happy with that move. We gave up Acuna. That's all right. You know what? The White Sox, they're making all these little moves here and there. Let's see how they turn out. But the big trade was the Peralta trade. Yes. Love the trade. Absolutely love the trade. You got a top-notch pitcher, great stuff. They got Tobias Myers out of this, he's actually a very good middle innings guy, could be even, a starter here and there if they choose, if they have any problems. And they gave up Sproat and Jet Williams for them. So I think the trade was good for both sides. I really want them to sign Gallen. Gallen is just hanging out there. Sign the guy. I don't care about the draft choices. I don't care. Sign this guy to a multi-year contract. He's a very, very good pitcher who had a bad year last year. Sign him. If we get him, we're going to go very, very far in the playoffs, providing our bullpen doesn't fall apart. With that, because they'll have plenty of great starters, but we need one more. I don't want to hear about Valdez. I don't want Valdez on this team. He's like a step above Quintana. He has the same type of stuff like Quintana. He likes to throw the off-speed stuff. I don't want him. I don't think he's a good fit for the team.
So you're on board with the kid Benj playing left field now. You're feeling like they can play an unproven rookie. I look at it like, is that really what you want to do? Because what happens if he bombs out? What you said, putting Beatty in left field, is that a solution? That seems like a disaster.
Beatty actually used to play outfield in the minors and in college.
He did.
People don't know that. Yeah,
he could be confident enough. All right. Yeah, he's a good player.
They need to have consistent at bats for Beatty and Vientos. Just leave these guys alone. Let them put them somewhere and keep them there for the entire year. Let Vientos be the DH. If he's that bad of a fielder, which we've seen, let him be the DH. Let Beatty, if he has to play every so often at first base or third base or outfield. But to say he's going to be the next, I keep hearing, he'll be like the next Jeff McNeil. We'll have him all over the place. It's not good for him.
It wasn't good for McNeil either.
Yeah.
So okay, that's good. So overall, you think that Dave? You haven't mentioned David Stearns or his smirk or the owner, who you kind of lambasted like on our last episode. So
I
you
did.
really think that they have made amends with the fan base, or is it
No,
just that they got to win? They got to win,
no,
right? They just have to win.
no. They haven't made amends, and the fact of the matter is, just imagine. I keep coming back to Alonso and Diaz. If you added these players in addition to having those two, now you have a chance to win the World Series.
Yeah.
But because you took out the best reliever and the best RBI guy that your team could have, what did you just do here?
And the power, though, the
Right,
power that Pete gave the team where he could hit 3-run homers.
right.
And how are they going to make up for that? And
And
also,
not to
John,
give the guy 31 million a year. I mean, 155 million, but yet you were offering this Tucker 4 years, 220. Are you kidding me?
yeah,
It
that's a
doesn't
whole,
make any
yeah,
sense. It
yeah,
doesn't
that
make
was a
any
react,
sense.
yeah, that was a Steve Cohen reactionary move. There's no way Stearns wanted to sign him for that amount of money. There's no chance. So yeah, we'll see. It's just results business, John. They have obviously made the fans a little happier. The bottom line is, the fan favorites are gone. I think Devin Williams is like in a really tough spot. He just has to at home come out early, John. First game, 1, 2, 3. Get him down in order. Get the save. Get some confidence. Get the fans on his side. That to me is, I think it's the key to the whole season is
Yeah.
how he starts off. Because if he gets off to a rocky start and the negativity starts piling in on him, I don't think Luke Weaver is going to be good enough. I mean, they like the kid Myers. I mean, it's always possible that somebody comes out of nowhere. But it's a darn shame, John, that the Dodgers, who just reload now, and baseball again, it's just really got some huge problems, man. This is just, I just, it just, you can't have this completely unbalanced salary structures. It's just, how can this be good for the game?
And the you mentioned about Williams. The one thing that people are forgetting about all these starting pitchers that we have coming back, Sanga and Mania. You still have McGill that's injured. You have, but
Peterson, yeah, boy
yeah,
Peterson,
yeah,
yeah,
Peterson, but Christian Scott, you remember
yeah,
him?
sure, of course, they have him
Okay, he
too, right?
came back. Now this kid could be a very good reliever. I think that they shouldn't use him as a starting pitcher. This kid has stuff to be a closer. They
Well,
they should give him a chance in the bullpen and let him be. If things start falling apart, let him be the closer.
John,
He
I
has
tell
that
you,
type of stuff.
in modern day baseball, you need, as we've joked on our show, 30 to 40 pitchers are going to pitch for the Mets this season. I mean, it's just a fact. It is a fact between that amount. And it's just because of their philosophy, they refuse to change it. And they want, and that's why I think it's going to be fascinating. How are they going to let Peralta pitch? Now, you know him, obviously, a hell of a lot more than I do. What is his typical start? Don't tell me he's a 5 or 6 inning guy.
He's a 5 or 6 inning guy. He,
And that
he,
is the
he
end of the show.
he's six. If you
All
get
right.
6 out of him, that's
All right.
that's
Okay.
him.
But you like that move. Okay.
I
I,
like no,
I
I like him as a pitcher. I
but
wish
you,
he would go longer
mm,
than what he's been doing, but his MO is really 6 innings.
there you
That's
go.
about it.
All right. Well, get ready for a lot of many relief pitchers. This guy Tobias Harris's arm will be falling off by July because he'll be pitching every other game. We'll see, John. It's a
Well,
results business, as I always say,
but
and we'll see how they play.
the other
Yes.
team in town
Yes.
has
What they,
done practically nothing. I mean, they re-signed Bellinger, and that's about it. I mean, they got this kid from who was it? The Marlins, Weathers, David Weathers kid.
Oh, okay, all right. Immortal
He used to pitch for the Yankees. Ryan, he's a lefty.
and
He's
the
actually
Mets and
he's
the Mets.
actually a pretty good right. That's true too. Um, he's actually a pretty good pitcher. They may have stolen him from the Marlins, but the team to watch out for that very sneaky moves that they've been making are the Cubs because they ended up getting Cabrera from the Marlins, who's a very good pitcher. The Mets were trying to get him, and then they signed Bregman. So they're loading. I still think that somehow they're going to make some moves here and there, but the Cubs are going for it. It looks like that they're going for it. They're making a lot of sneaky little moves.
All right. Well, I can't wait. We'll be talking baseball. We'll have our traditional under over predictions
Oh,
for the Mets and the Yankees. I don't even know what the number is. We'll worry about that in March. John, we haven't had a show for a long time. Again, we want to thank everybody for checking out our content. Show has turned out to be a very lengthy show. So we're hoping that everybody, kind of hung in and watch it in pieces and see how, we'll be back. We're going to be a little quicker for this next show coming back, right, John? Because we got to talk a little more, especially post Super Bowl. So we'll probably drop another episode maybe next week. You never know. See how John's voice gets through the weekend, especially going to the game on Friday. So
mm,
you never know. You got to make sure you're getting all those cough drops and tea and all this stuff. So making sure you got your voice for Friday.
yeah.
So as always, John, who do you got to thank?
As always, thank you to our producer, Zach Zublake, and to our loyal listeners and viewers. Keep the feedback coming. We love all the commentary. Even though you text us and maybe call us, we still love it. Also, thanks to our community partners, Ronald McDonald House, Kids in Seats, and the Jackie Robinson Foundation. See you soon.